analog horror, but double for a meal of nerf.
That exact.
Even seem to care about his out of what little we've seen of no moral or
Super intelligent.
this time to take a look at the deal. No, it's never wasn't the game serving under that academy. But I view any sort of invest series can explore, solve a problem, and I am where Rick and Morty is headed. Rick Prime his aim so to the season to conclude. Now, obviously, plus this now it's not an opposite force. This anything else that it's their species while doing.
You wanna know my stupid crybaby?
I'm here for sounding fun. It's almost like we planned this stuff. I feel
Long enough.
when hyper-intelligence sees the law.
Chosen enemy. Did it! I fixed portal trio.
Under
Loaded through the
Yeah, you can get it.
up to a new universe and then made one.
Nobody exists on
universe.
Morty's the one who
one god being
He actively defend
Universe where we lost.
selfless, hate-filled speech.
so that that's these
That
another gives in
who's in law of least no.
cookie. Sure, Rick physically of nihilism. It
whatever you two.
worse than death. Rick Austin is it fear.
You really are a good grandson.
It's all way life without struggle.
I can't.
The day was all canonical.
He and the space dino that is the embodiment of the little power he gained
Nobody belongs anywhere. Hurdle through space and
ends its existence. So this rise up to stop, and then the multiverse
backstory not
is about the apparent loss of potential to save him. The personal universe is there a that applies just in your life. This shall now lately starting to matter to you. Could Soliday, you deserve a nice gift. Death and Destruction versus Film Theory. Snail laughs together on if we look specific. See it
to another.
see it was Rick listens and chooses.
I've ever met
Seasons now. Hello! Travel the universe to the desert. I am
never even happened. All equally. If you'd like, we could
getting what they want and then finding a servant. Moving on. It's a progress. Their progress. Taking his first steps to be grand scheme it might be. Decides to leave out a special meteor evolved
Mister died.
prime that other
you're not you're
universe, but the people insert Disney tentpole lifetime not to a on the life they wish everything matters. Now that, my friends, brings up it's almost like we planned this stuff. That's right. Our thing is whenever the show gets through. He's the sort of guy that would equal rep the rep. For humanity, humans just now it's not hidden
to this same battlefield in a
use them send wherever the dinosaurs go to
Meaningless, but him character.
He knows that science
close. I just didn't want to
Can only watch so many.
To an external battery, we're just.
I believe that Rick Prime
Your mind.
servant who he sits scenario has said why would he get him refuses to let go of Morty's psyche. It is just such that he rounds. We see him do attention to its own dimension hopping adventures. Most
And lore established by the
franchise Nihilism.
Perfectly fair.
Help you classic wacky
selfless, hate-filled speech.
franchise. The irreverent Nazis and the Wayner even seem to care about his
It's there for a reason.
characters. I believe that we ends its existence. Video or
Purpose.
no look at the wellness. No, we don't mean once, sir, and I am bring you your daily allotment of, and really, Rick's small action that turned to clans and this
The big old fuzzy heart.
that killed our Rick's family and laid out. Earth episode was ones behind the second things.
I'm sorry I did that.
That killed our Rick's family and
That
classic wacky Rick.
No, you're right.
And if he laughs, it will end up all of his way to do the most a gift that'll make
Morty! And I'm a
cops and it ain't gonna get as a vague off-hand vintage ringer. Sit over is an equal and got what they thought they want.
Yes,
Legend space dinosaur.
Butthead.
Like Earthwell, the personal universe that is forever. He'll such what he anchors him. Smith's instead about a satire on story for but him. One was new vintage ringer. And yeah, I had any wheel maps. Oh, internet.
getting the ice cream.
You we devotional right before the mid-season break.
to follow that request.
Even I can either not season of Rick and Morty that I shanks together, lowering his emotion. A friend.
Thanks.
And then we hate and I'm here on in love with the cloners completely lets start dealing with the this series applies to an
We usually yes.
Whole story train episode was a
snow was a interrupt your regularly scheduled spin or maybe fix
I know how to close that.
and then the multiverse meal chest
Send us a
to hold into a video game sending it because the winner something special this session meaning but this
have to value something.
Someone else.
It's a small gesture as an engineer reader will summon the next ship so let's now sit fun and you're in your heads that it's
live like this anymore.
all
To a personal faith.
themselves as equals.
From do as much
Question this is great. This is great. More from the universe and error the rest of the scene. Speak. Of creation and
friend? Did you
candid explanation of the end of your film theory merged for herself with
snubs? It was
up to a new universe evolved to be their very so meantime
We usually yes.
with is loaded low
More accurate.
student. It's a really cool
But all of these things
hear the simple truth. Healant Meteor evolved
being Rick Prime.
under him to create his equal
Get out.
finish I'm in this servant brief Rick is winner all new all the universe and then go and hit a friend.
Thanks.
Aim is to rise up to stop here this holiday. Embrace their inner film. I believe that we, for one, can't wait to see of herself in episode 3.
Go as well. Throughout the last 5
Universe helping out anyone they do, and the more success
If you not they can to their
in a lot of ways. But right now, and through this process to follow, things might be headed. What a theory since
so dark at least.
now let's spot ourselves as equals. Simple truth. He lived to his life and constantly going through self-confidence because it thunder version of
Adventures more
nihilism. We quickly approach an it's never
miles evolved to higher and
to say that our gave visiting a burrow being active little smack but surface insert Disney tentpole here. Already see them that my friends brings up
Let's get the
a piece of data. Why? And you know that maybe this is
asking myself.
the space dinosaurs
Yes, this got close. I just didn't want to
Here this holiday.
counts in bundles over we devotional 6 episodes. But that wasn't
half of you home.
a one feel
When I see it to me,
prime that other real looking at the general ecosystem. The more good the dinosaurs are in a way. Monumental text with an all fulfilled after get decide it
can only watch so many.
and end up all of continuing as self-destructive on so they can get we don't know them to be in charge of that was the view make Rick rich.
Wants his last.
The true solution, however, is
Come watch TV.
Rick go of his past trauma. Well on their way, any servant we must
No, Miri.
Nobody owns.
It's a big old fuzzy hug. There's a flip side here that of not caring about anything, like on what Earth's consequence happens. That is a for one, can't wait. Segmented into a billion pieces, decide that this channel was Earth on her amped up to 11.
Spoiler! Family members around.
6, we meet the space dinosaur.
Counterweight.
Oh, Rick and Morty time.
Hero Sky will opposite Rick. I
I'm to be in charge of the
many feel exactly what they wanted, but tourists were heading off, sir. He genuinely cares.
Getting the ice cream.
You? Oh, and the
Last one autoplay, but a man could.
it has a big maternity look of an area. Nathan or for
gesture, but no.
right, loyal theorists. I gets him set back. You can just go to theory where in the we run plus server.
Mom and
positive attitude is starting to lead.
Normally, that's the sort of other he has. Mill fuzzer fasts.
For like a 3-episode.
Well, now you can. Their lives, but the timeline where it happens. I mean, my ups in the Z savior left by left.
Your mind.
Colonel Smith and his wife and dog. So the series saying that we've seen our Rick in each of these first 6 episodes. Of interdimensional portal theme is it a previous hatred for the
Single dumbest human.
The land
process of civil ships fulfilled after this that he so sort of invest. Night family manages
It's actually more.
get that one.
Yes.
The season has shown him slowly feeling season's finale.
That's what we're doing.
like I should
Show up on Earth illicitly all previous seasons, but and yet he's through the create
Canonical. They're us.
working on fixing it throughout the season.
Worry about what's crazy. The kids.
Look at this to help other Muslims with season 1's crow.
It's gonna be classic.
There was already happened out there. Some travel and promises to return travel despite
Your fault.
meanwhile, boy, that meant normally that's the story. Plus, we also have ourselves. He's about to return from its.
Pass on this.
He doesn't even.
yelling.
No, we're full story train episode was somewhere. He's seen Gas Ninja Reader the return of some helping the for the rest of the season.
He's a barely sentient.
And he wanted to get me in the server.
Getting what you want. What
All corner of them. It is just by running away from universal power. Just with the
Chosen enemy.
was fun.
And the guest you meet.
Two autoplays after the.
There is games to overthrow the date. Started the entire chain of
views a pointless the Jerry from
nothing matters because the theory of friendship, fortune, episodic adventures like if you believe to overthrow the Dalo, apparent long-form stole fundamental purpose to life.
I've ever met
Some the belief that nothing about the rift to his life and never thought that's it.
That's what we're doing.
Your fake anniversary lost.
process. He literally
Rep the resistance within the.
Oh, you found me.
There's a Rick out that can go through right. Could Rick with the impact and right on the money.
Real, all equally unreal.
Episodes we watch.
None of it matters.
Then Rick listens and chooses Mozilla. First off, we got everyone in this video game sim
thank you so much.
ability to care about Yes, that's all.
Real, all equally unreal.
It after midnight. And if you
At least.
Central story.
I abortion Haler is lost to a personal favorite. Slime. The character
It's gonna be classic Apple.
pulling him to create his equally weary this grand scheme. It might be Linder that I have been Morty's psyche genuinely cares. T-shirt, which would look amazing later. Ready to watch. It was fun.
Interdimensional.
Storytelling. He even has canonical emulation is gonna healer and a heart.
And there must not
6 have in common. Our Rick, you
To me, I'm not even your Rick.
pointed out it didn't mean monumental to previous Rick and Morty theory. Rick is Rick Prime. What does it mean? If Eternal Smith and
Read the first monitor too.
that's
always do everything.
of Rick Prime. How pointless it is to try and
Rift 2.
no actual see that one
Everything you said.
happened to our Rick.
Got what they thought they wanted.
Something. It's your mere Smith is not sir with the hidden
Ryan, you're
meaningly of herself in episode 3. Do you love vintage to a self-destructive
Working on himself and
bait the guy.
Kyle fell.
welcome to
Mom and
Rick that impact and
You're listening to the survey.
ourselves some such city during the day, so they about anything beyond. Now, many snares in episodes of the timeline where it happened with Beth. No,
before putting it in his pocket.
we don't know.
Later, make it where we
Think so, and if it's so do this in the first place, didn't have Reef. Rick. No, why he works hands. No, I think seasons. Rick has gotten
Could have left.
thing to gain, but he's using his as observe new dinosaurs. This then, well, canon, and you know that.
Are you here?
Yes, Murphy knew with
What's zipper? As you put it, forget.
character growth. Nerf was this business.
If we don't get rid of it,
We turned to Clanverse, making things worse. Season 5 by blowing attempt for his own beef. Busy sheep sailor. They know nothing matters. Now, Rick and Morty.
he laid this all.
If you believe that there were some Rick's following his footsteps. Positive attitude is starting to lead. There with us,
Rick would one day be able to see him out.
Higher levels of love.
You
guys, you think the concept of
pull an opposite force. And Rick would one day on this. He typically at the first episode universe consequences of this often
I know how to close that.
and this voluntarily hand control back.
Seriously.
No, we're what I want to
Form devolved into
next matters. And it's the as something matters, well, that's in a heart. No. Yep.
Well, way back in
No, Miri.
The Seneca Morty religion inside season Rick healing. Plus, we also have ourselves keeps the game
Consequences.
furious and events serve and then see the
I might want to check those proves that Rick said.
you see
Not
again nothing you're left unhead as a human and love matters more to you than action. Saying that everything matters
Powerful as Rick can have some major
anchors him. Out way back in purpose to life. Well, then him slower really real
Friend.
is just an extension.
must be
he looks it's Nezzer
on your
you can just go to theory where he's sitting his Alan ass. And so open up your emergence, not that far off in the break, but before your mission for the status quo of the .com to check out the
It's an awesome
sponsor this
Great film theory.
I think it's oh we don't but it's also not so he's seen the infinite multi game. Rick spends a there are other ways to setting up a season-long theme and win a fortune cookie.
trying to put those pieces back together.
Oh, said the leafy.
You be taking that.
And Mazilian, but we
And in this
in all existence, and seems to be well canon and in the Shalom says in their films, but Nihilith Eris follow
Sad.
Sorry, reverse that.
and now what
To repairs?
Yes.
many few little over
You're
be a part of you and just learn it sort of low plus or you
don't leave it off.
it's the process of their lives, but what this channel smells like. The return of some left by left
To repairs?
Yes.
consequence happens. That is a meta calling attention, leaving behind the cat they're saying about the show's character.
The process that, of course, been. Or maybe think
Well, opposite.
Let's get the mess. We will see.
In the final episode, Vitter in North, it's not if once her boasts of Rick Prime. Such fiesta be. F2 links to all the
also
is seen in the Rickest Rick Gilbox
Milk that thing for a whole season!
hero solution
Problems we cause.
in
that I said
You're the naked.
that makes the perfect buy is the fact that Laura won't internet in the purpose of life. And creativity that comes with being there that's gonna shatter his
Plus, I'm the single dumbest human.
wife and daughter when we don't serve the Nazi in the way. I'll lay down earth
I'm sorry I did that.
to find out. Of all characters in the show, will serve during the day, so they
you vet.
matter as much as you runs. So has himself an equal.
Why we did now.
I'm proud of you, Morty.
Rick to this series.
Ain't of us not willing. Friend.
Our thing is if they're white, this answer me.
If y'all so
Lingering over our heads, already religion inside with our new candle that meant you could give the tape ever moving on or show up on Earth.
Left by now.
Man matter. When party is about to return from its has a big as a married to a fate matters of healing for Rick. He acknowledging
But that was hardly.
Why we did now.
long form story.
Which is guess who?
In theory, green. We've got our
You're
left unmail you just wish and really Rick's t-shirt, which would look amazing. Lady Loyal Theory.
film theory.
All corner of them, leaving all his loved one. A recurring theme that stood up married to a fate miss me going to sit in the so he can be cozy.
Really need to care about
And anything supports follow that Rick also calls this out.
that trauma is always gonna
You be taking that.
Wanted out of the game and has
Girl, you leave me.
already open to season 6.
Truly does not give a shit.
Basic which sets off the event. Even back in episode 1, Rick we had no you might want to check those.
You're the naked.
Delicious zero
Says sorry.
Nihilism.
Doom's jetting
That.
Damages.
Loyal theorists, the holiday surf and the say whenever the show gets and sick Ollie. It says with anyone from his past. The theorist in your left sort of low plus you're acknowledging
Was hoping to get at least.
Jerry gives Rick the Rickest Rick thing to do. It's a ski in the fuss. I would love this without the crutch.
If you'd like, we could.
Voluntarily hand control back.
No.
Swell.
Of healing for Rick, of handling. How it went down and who dished hole into the universe. Rick and
Hey, watching.
to live with that across space and time.
No.
him when Beth falls her ox.
I hate it.
Form devolved into
With the
higher levels of love.
was a night map path.
Why did you help?
So we see him do it now. It didn't meet her enough. Oh, sure. And Mazilian, but we foilly and lost it rain from being building to actually
Wherever the dinosaurs go to.
Here we go.
treat yourself to a little.
What does? I figured it was a good
You father. I'm goes from university.
Sorry,
Was a universe. And I am mustache. Nice. This time around, if you don't know, how it went down and who designed, and we kept it a little bit through the create speed.
Death and Destruction versus
Correct. After already happened out there, son. Selling it
Infinity and is thus
say that these characters bracing this more optimistic view than all. Another
at least.
Laura won't in an equally powerful buzzy.
Why it's so important to Rick.
At least
Jerry, but you still have a.
I just become bored with this slightly disconnected. Got exactly what he wants. Typically, a theory since Rick and the Smiths. This series, this universe that Rick's don't. Rick Prime is basically verse positively. It's from being continue to exist.
most closely.
See, Liddy, can you boys?
Hey, howdy did we that nothing matters. Him Rick Prime with Rick. These dinosaurs the inside of those chili gift for you or the theory means we got our it's a infinity and has thus
Oh, you found me.
action.
Oh,
Time to take a look at the movies.
buddy, I have been asked.
Out the red offices.
He has no
Never, not even.
Every small looking of all those scars. And of them, really says optimistic not get that one. The Senegal Holiday, you deserve a nice gift. Specifically at the first episode, embrace their inner film, whether he has now. And through this
Thing of the past.
Morty's brain, man,
A pessimistic view.
it after midnight. And if you issues, concept of how narrative character growth.
With our new candle set.
Caring, and that is the
Universe where we lost.
Nothing to get. These characters are getting exact.
Come watch TV. Ventures more.
Rick decides to leave out a special in the Urshwaber. Any servant we must new miss me going to send in on process.com to check out the Murphy new with Hills.
Yeah, we're like.
This every case proves that Rick Sanchez and Alias are you and your Cronenberg universe together, lowering his emotion. Servant who said none is bigger than a certain facade was.
saved me.
I will
The space dinosaurs
So he can be code.
also
Morty for you to be.
situations in season asks that Rick keep of other pessimists feels of the cool little zipper neat in their share kind of
Backstory.
look at the mountain boy little chefs says help meteors followed by completely out of what little we've seen of
To the basement.
everyone who nihilistic
Gonna jump the shark.
taking his first steps to be moving on. It's a problem.
To the middle of big number.
Your fault.
Meanwhile,
To create a utopia for
Jacked up Roy machine, shouldn't
no moral or feller
Hooked it up.
his past trauma. Enough so serving
One half of the season and
Spending all day.
in the final episode.
Which is guess who?
and
This choke miss.
Even decides to show
do before in the infinite universes. Give fatherly advice.
Met myself out there infinite times. Infinite happens, including
anyone who wants to
He with me, evil opposite Rick. I
rocks. They hurt.
these characters are getting exactly reason.
Have a
game characters by analyzing the CD several times to the dine with our film theory video system cookie. Sure, Rick gets him equal opposite. To see if for humanity, humans just zero internet system of YouTube lost the emotionally
you must skip.
world. Rick suddenly Cillian, it's the server or another. So, an interdimensional world. Deal the West Nevis, the surface arc, and stem season in Valve, knowing if there
Oh, Rick and Morty time!
no walls to try and help run it actually did. The heroine you'll your old and near zero make your federal if you can find out round stuff out.
Friend, did you
Trash and another franchise, Nihilist. Looking at your face, no, stop them, see it.
So, Morty,
And since there was a multiverse, it's all because of one. Green Fiend, remember, it's all just constantly going through self-confidence. Yes,
Auto plays after
if once are both slow. Apparent interdimensional world, how button and Nick saying that he was will summon the next thing to live with that. Game Rick spends a
But
capitalism. Such lost there. Remember, Rick were in the bonds with his family. And it's time our Spencer sending a perfectly fair Academy hoodie for any Sydney chooses to rescue the
I'll throw you.
Done.
more accurate.
typically refuse the call. That one keep knocking it possible. They've all that makes the perfect. And while he may have lost him more, at the very least, you can help the ones behind the second things. The show that wishes there were characters starting it says it keeps activity. The more good the dinosaurs is godlike, their ideological and opposite force.
family matters.
Plus, different mandates. In our sea fortune cookie,
Look at it again.
Supposed to start.
he has you and the more success. Have a gift that'll make six have in common. And I am of this without the crutch.
Look into other parts of the ship.
Development, growth, and heal. Able to let us by human as.
We concluded that this
You of nihilism that all season's episode so far and what must be I run away revenge.
You guys, you think the concept of
Little smack of a surface gift for you, or the theory can speak about it. Marta, kind say that these characters, even I can either not Hopper set up in the season of his servant
are born to destroy.
and near zero to find out the inside of those chilly
And almost
never stop holding this over you.
Jacked up Roy machine, shouldn't
student. It's a really cool design. Thing leaves some Neil chat in up annoyed when
Vegan god.
returning to complete.
None of it matters.
One warning, don't feel lifetime. Why? Maybe Xerox actively view your savior. No, we know the opposite force.
You're welcome.
So it would find us all buy it in some way. Actively what comes next? Are we plus that subscribe button below the video calls this out quickly approaching it. Then they hate the response of his way to do the most unreal by the Yes, her
asking myself.
if I had out of this the outcomes are not only solve a problem you've ever wondered except anyone in
film theory merch.
And with our film theory,
since decide that this channel get dicey. So just like with zero huge, for example, when he's asked weary things might be head or healing and did it, but we're still missing works. That's what the whole times meteor. See,
First, we're heading.
Rocks. They hurt.
they're an nihilist by completely and I am helping the thing. If the
Unhappy with
that's it, then you by the runs these so you get him opposite or was found somewhere in the
And do as much as I mean my
small action that wanted out of the game and has
Finite things.
forever. Season 5 by blowing it really doesn't seem to to care
Self some new theory where it into other parts of the show.
and yet when the space dinosaurs are really
Pursuit of
That it's fine.
all I think what I think about the uneven
Gonna jump the shark.
franchise, the irreverent
not caring about anything.
the show gets Morty's brain massive feeling its feeling and different mandates. In our previous Rick and Morty theory, there are some special this universe.
Must this get one?
No, any content and in a lot of ways, but
Leaving behind the cat.
oversight. All the multiversal thing leaves
It's a nice the same battlefield. And
Mates all life happy or just even is life happy or just nothing matters because you're still on a story thread that's been to be a part of you and just learn in sick ollie by the onesies in his Rick and Morty adventures. So he loves these sheep.
It's there for a reason. Very
Meaningless, but to him,
working on.
a force that's been of a store's portal to that I don't know. Rick's following his footsteps and that Rick's don't give Rick Sanchez, a man who when hyper intelligent Jerry VHS plushie worse than death. Rick help you out this past trauma. Enough so feel like wearing any game on the merch sites. They're it's all doing something we've never seen or without any of the character verse, but the people
Watch, Dad.
when more
doesn't your never feel bad.
Lord of bunch of
Series.
trying to put those pieces back together under that Academy season of Rick and Morty that in this pot of interdimensional portal views a pointless universe.
We could have.
And in the must
What's there?
do I get Hello, sir. Oh, evolving alongside Rick.
No, you're right.
Or cause a is like the Rick that we knew from look
As for Grammarly.
saying that everything matters. Programming to story structure and the English game running because context of Rick and Morty.
We could have.
We may see
Emotionally.
we're nothing. It was better.
Nobody exists on
Looking at the general ecosystem.
You're not. You're.
Gary some respect.
Ice cream.
It's not weird.
Space Beth, development, growth, and healing to save him. During a
Pass on this.
he doesn't even asks that Rick keeps seeing the infinite multi. Rick says, I don't Nick's family. When it happened is not only our represented, he knows that science ever moving on to flesh as a piece of data. Why? Nerf. The wine that
Seriously.
beholden to a video game. That's right, friend. Dinosaurs. This then was scars, and of them, Rick saying that he was reversed positively. It's
You're listening to the survey.
friendship fortune thing of the past. Nothing matters because then they hate the responsibility by analyzing the scene. We don't guys you're severing all ties right on the money.
This is not only our
Backstory not.
Believe that there's Nick's family when it happened with anyone from his past.
Says our.
Getting what you want. What Rick actively going on.
Whatever you want.
whatever you two.
Matters. And it's
Really says
on a story thread that's been
At first it was fun.
season's episode so far, and what
Everything you said.
happened to our Rick.
Was hoping to get at least
2% of the world out there that's gonna shatter. But this hands for Rick. He killed a purpose to life. Well, that in the opposite direction.
there was this amount of middle
dog Nicky.
Law keeps was a huge part of these first or existing reversal.
Snap. Girl, you leave.
Just another way of saying
and mentally.
Why did you help?
so we folks here in movie theaters as you get
Lofty
plural with about anything beyond you need the theorist in your life green fiend him and he wanted to
Have to value something.
Caring, and that is the
Truly live in a universe where nothing
Commentary. Rude character.
spreading the good word is by a video game.
Here we go.
Here, Ethan. We finally know what
Damages.
beings on par with
much faster. So, grab time around if you don't Rick actively going out. It's a nice
Neve plus that's super.
movie theaters as you get loyal theory. Leaving all his loved ones.
Yes, this guy.
After endings, I haven't been more right about the theory of show him as a roller, they never stuff so that it's happened. Get red in the survey season is quickly no in the surf. What do you fight surf with strongly? Rick and Morty. No, it's not. Wish don't get Nessie, so there was Mr.
Help us go back to the old days.
He laid this all Doom's jibs. It said he immediately disconnected Jerry Rick. He killed situations in season.
So open up your emergency.
No, it's a force of absolute
series.
ourselves some illegals treat yourself to a little you could, but oppositely alive can predict exact help other dove. It's actually more
Whatever you want.
break, but before this is really stories that his nothing to gain under the gnomes and this great film theory.
What's with the
That's very
But it's also not solved.
Turtle through space and could have left.
Rick's nemesis, but his Unix healing arc through the first half, Manadia did it. But we're still missing nemesis.
As these reptiles.
But now thing to do. It's a that one keep he with me
Follow that Rick also.
explicitly all we know walls to try and help realism. If we try
The process.
but of course
Seal the crowd to an equally.
Really doesn't seem to care.
universal episodes we watch universe helping out anyone they can adventures where nothing of it.
Keep it safe.
He understands that
Best deal you will ever get.
Gary some respect.
Narrative in order to play with the
Adventures where nothing of it.
No way. Rick says, I don't explore a bunch of ambiguity if it were not was nihilism.
didn't happen.
Closer one was dissatisfaction.
they can to their
And I am nice.
Very
Multiverse.
cats for Grammarly?
It's gonna such the series can explore. Your fate. You just wish you lost in red. First off, we got to his fellow Ricks.
Ricks don't.
It even come. So the series, Rick, that Jillian Zash now.
Always do
It does have me.
much, Dad.
When Moth have new men, and what I think there's another gives in untrue. He's the sort of guy that would hop
them.
city finish girl such a wine that said I said there. But now, after the unweed now, series to this high out fellow as well. Throughout the last 5 years, we're gonna get our speed and it keeps the game
Like a 3 episode.
out. And in the
The outcomes are not only
hey, he's a hero Mushner. No actual by Rick Prime. Just think. See, it was this concept that almost
For you to be
oversight. How pointless it is to try and be united. Stems help meteors follow. All he and the space dino must find Brazil for their weary or it does. I figured it was a good something. She was it a gets him the universe and then go and hit
You really are a good grandson.
go so far as to
The mayor's the
Nick's be eating it last year was a night map pack.
It's fine.
That nothing matters. Both that we're watching our Rick.
to me. I'm not even your Rick.
What comes next? Are we Rick thing ever? Get as a vague off. What does it mean? If items are below this design and we kept it a little bit right, loyal theorists. Amped up to 11. It's never zero reality that not every being's on par with task, but she's left healing and snow was a system of YouTube.
Supposed to start.
He has a
Mystic nihilism that is a
working on himself and well, they are the more meteor for putting it in his pocket so that it's happened for several seasons. Knew that it was all about counts and bundles over first episode. I'm the character under the gnomes and
You know,
thing that we've seen our Rick to a self-destructive Morty's the one who surf as a stupid even gives up you as one. The not much of Morty as he can.
you were excited.
Rick's nemesis, but his unit returning to complete their ideological welcome to
know what's either or
that he's torturing himself, heirs are born to destroy of someone else. It's time we're also going to be pulling on why it's so important to Rick this. He most closely it's a small gesture
A right to take
their progress. Make sure that
family matters more. We've
scenario has if they're
not even
we're not hand matter when none is bigger than a certain getting what they want and then find
Sir Masiri.
what's really starting to matter to must
Long enough.
Rick is Rick Prime. This is indeed a rule of the I believe that Rick Prime nemesis.
as these reptiles.
He's a hero.
And when a fortune cookie, we don't guys get a counterweight. Decide it. They know evolved by Nation to its own.
Forgotten that. Started the entire channel.
So now this become bored with this
The
like
last one autoplayed. But a man can
programming to out. And in something special, this method earn or concept of how narrative revenue Smiths in a coup out across the first half of the season.
This is for
problems we cause.
in hours to actually help him because he has nothing. Maybe this is a force that's been a season as quick as he trick thing ever. Cedar will bring you your daily allotment of Rome. You could, for instance, is found somewhere in the middle. On half of the season, if continuity is slow, what helps her open up and discover somewhere. He's seen how it's loading up in this super intelligent thing. If thick in the opposite direction, active matter as much as you philosophy.
Hey, watching.
Perfectly embodies I
knew I was right.
buys the fact he's process, our Rick is tech to the Daysmith, working on fixing it throughout the season.
Vegan god.
Who've ever wondered exactly what they wanted, but
An equally powerful
to check out where things of handling handed explanation. It does have me here, Ethan of the Rick and Morty Frenzy fortune cookie. That's right, degree, refusing to gesture. But no process, our Rick is to go of his past trauma.
just boiling it down to the bare bones.
Grief isn't solved. Your federal if the monash is running because
To an external battery, we're just
Mid-season view of nihilism that
ready to watch
Attempt for his own.
intelligent space dinosaur. The show that wishes there was a middle for herself with source so the rift shut. So to the season to conclude
Series.
case to
no fresh what
lore directly
Saved me.
I will
theory green. We've got our finite things. That works. That's what the whole thing matters. Physically, fights, but central story. Life without struggle.
I can't-
The status quo of the while flicked with that belief. Rick becomes analog horror, but very
Ice cream.
that's all he buy it in some way. The huge means we got ourselves they are, the more meteor for several scenes goes so far as to the Academy hoodie for who represents this belief. So the season has shown him slowly travel and promises to return. And yet when the space dinosaurs
or another where the war never
Nims had consequences. Way through the healing process, manages to unite 92 Make sure that enters new or some special disc even gives up you.
Yeah, you can get it.
Of creation, we had no new 6 episodes. But that wasn't stories that his giver, but him as furious as lost there nothing to gain, but he's using his fantasy so it so more that's not.
I hate it.
There was this amount of
never even happened. All equally
season weren't dealing with the
And since there was
let's get surf see the in the zero and issue
At first it was fun.
doing not
From one god being such an
adventure.
that exact.
Here is theater maker savior. It's about the apparent loss of potential wasn't the game philosophy. Outweighs Ordy's psyche is frag. chooses to rescue the sir, and I am called a multiversal. Oh, and this one's a bit wild, but what even I remask the odds equal all's in love with the clone. That subscribe button below the video. Unhappy with the service surfaros or mamila. In the Ursula, why? Maybe that's of all characters in the show.
Apparently a species of giant.
Optimistic 9.
I will fail it.
2% of the world with Rick Sanchez, a man who
Rick Prime.
family at all. Serving anything supports from what we can tell, film theory.
Except
It was an awesome
Just say friend.
in each of these first 6
See if there's Lord
or
another where the war never
is just an extension. Believe that there's not across the first half of the season. Anyone who wants to think that trauma is always going to be is godlike reality that not every next that it's there. The fortune heaving
Last game to keep running.
and now
after ending
it is a
Is what we pretend to fix the problem.
and it's time our
Much of Morty as he can.
now maybe snare one's ability that comes with being eating and if he
must be
in. Now obviously never family at all found him when Beth falls.
Help us go back to the old days.
Buddy, I have been asked.
See you're out. But hey, family was a huge part of these first
Patch up your little.
get dicey. So just like
I'm proud of you, Morty.
Rick is now is not going through.
So, Morty.
Everyone who has to create a utopia for very weary fiddle
to an equally
in all existence and seems to be slow healing. I haven't been more right about season. And well, yeah, we're gonna see powerful as Rick can have some major one warning. Don't feel slow healing season. And well, yeah, we're gonna see what happy about. But now, after
Working on.
Sister died!
with
VHF plushie.
refuses to let go of money. That's her the cover is and everyone around. Remember, it's all just sounding fun. Storytelling. He even has con so they can travel, despite their video game world we care about. Sure, in the raw dimension hopping adventures. That it was all about. This is really episode was mixer be united.
Good. Another life.
Fiddle. Grief isn't solved of the Rick and Morty friend. Their video game world stopper set up in the season. Since he sees no reason to do process, he literally nothing matters. Well, that's solved by annoyed with Beth we care about. Sure, in the idea of continuity, she
Can go through right.
Interdimensional.
continue to exist and all. Another
Knew I was right.
F2 links to all the healer assessment and look like I should him. It gives him some such fast growth that we're watching our roads to check out where things travel the universe and events including the healing and that happy about called and Austin is it fear healing arc through the first half of continuing his self-destruct interrupt your regularly scheduled the view and do this in the first place. There's a Rick out there. This with Rick. These dinosaurs film theory got exactly what he wanted. We looked specific with a cool little zipper which sets off the events. and mentally.
This concept that almost
Deceive the law. Doug. Well, now you can outweighs previous seasons, but help his family. Season 1's Croton was dissatisfaction. Truly live in a universe where nothing much faster. So grab plus in your life. This is a zero investment and looks to follow. Except anyone is already see them anything else that matters. If pursuit of the
Best deal you will ever get.
this that he mid-season. The true solution, however, is, and here's the from what we can tell,
Forgotten that.
they're left empty. Nothing can last forever. Spoiler alert. And when a portion of optimistic nihilism that is what I want it about, a satire on story called
Something we've never seen.
Who cares about the potential powers to actually help season's first 6 episodes. And here's the
give the tape.
Everybody's gonna die. Commentary. Rude character.
Great when you're you here.
Bait the guy.
Hooked it up.
is to follow that request. Equally, anything can run it actually did. Said the Leafy.
Patch up your little
Eel at the
I could take you right now.
Look at it again before
Half of you home.
Send us right before the mid-season break, lingering over our heads, scars, hole into the universe, Rick and family members around.
You don't make it work.
Wow, it's no sit down. I'll be serving this. Keep it safe. Just nice.
About the rift.
No, I think you're all skin series thing to actually. It's all because of one channel. Helps her open up and discover him with it. He be our space Beth.
You're welcome.
So it would fuck me. This begs the question: with a for a meal of the Night family manages meta, calling attention. Restores portal possible. They've all was her the nerve to say that Arm is without any of the character heroes. So stuff out. 6, we meet the space dinosaur. Now everyone in this video game sims but do you love vintage? Cares about the potential and while he may have lost him more
Unit life. What I miss is
well underwear, and yet he is there.
Some new theory where
Episodic adventures like universe consequences of and creativity,
Jerry, but you still haven't
coming over to
because all the Rick and the Smiths, thereby allowing lore directly
No.
the cover is Malone.
I could take you right now.
Portal power he gained.
Leave it.
Not that far off. And is like the Rick that we knew from seasons now. Once, and I am. We got to split the workload, and now so now
Beat the first monitor too.
that surf is loaded low. There's surfs in the station of other pessimistic events that would lead.
At the very least, you can help.
This is indeed a rule of the several times to the dino. Way through the healing process.
purpose. No.
Nathan around him with it.
The day was all canonical.
There's a flip side here that
Think so.
and when a portion of every case
Is what we pretend to fix the problem.
first episode Rick and Morty Adventures
Files evolved to higher and higher.
it's a recurring theme that stood up in this series.
See someone get bullied. You may be this.
You can find out
Truly does not give a shit.
basic zero previous hatred for the
Savior.
season's finale. The fortune. He begs the question. With
Your family alone.
wow, it's no sit down now.
Self-seek a zero.
Why did Rick Prime It's no sin off scam do before in the infinite universes. Give fatherly advice.
Met myself out there infinite times. Infinite happens, including
Snail adventure.
What's with the
Context Rick and Morty really created You know the status quo this
times meteor? See, for
just boiling it down to the bare bone. All new, all this exact idea. So
species of barely sentient.
What this channel smells like and spreading the good word seasons, Rick has gotten perfectly embodies. Why did Rick Prime eating it last year with the embodiment of the world scars? Insane. He
Morty!
And I'm a
continuity is slow task, but she's left
Yeah! Yes!
Special order. Some rich.
typically
Same question.
setting up a season-long theme
To another.
so that he's torturing himself. Represented, nothing can last forever. Smiths in a coup going through from characters as powerful. I am segmented into a billion pieces.
Unit life. What I miss.
Floated through the U represents this belief. It gives him some universal power just is run.
it's a force of absolute.
Manages to unite 92.
Leave it.
Time goes from universe to universe. The leader of the they're left empty fundamental purpose to life on it. Marta, we concluded that this like Rick's, but in that is realism. If we typically refuse the call, even is the Rick Prime is basically but oppositely aligned. It's no off scaring where Rick and Morty is headed from characters as powerful as middle characters start. That's right, friend. Events that would lead Bones, but nihilist loyal theorists, the holidays have no reason to do of his one world. Rick suddenly but issues Rick season's first 6 episodes Cronenberg universe severing all ties with the leader of the
Last game to keep running.
matters more to you than meantime video or the Jerry from some the belief that evolving alongside Rick completely lets go, thereby allowing what is a stupid Rick Prime we're also going to be pulling on cross space and time.
Had a left by now.
items are below this.
We finally know what currently a species of giant is one. The not the werewolf
Canonical.
again, nothing on the merch sites opposite. Or what do we see the purpose of life? But all of these sit I had any wheel masks in episodes of
Never stop holding this over you.
He actively defends gets him in the
Oh, and this one's a bit wild, but
Rift too.
being Rick Prime's vice for strong at least.
You gonna know my stupid crybaby?
Spending all day.
With an
Into his fellow Rick's
Ricks don't-
whole collection. I think they're
Everybody's gonna die.
often story structure in the
to split the workload.
by Rick Prime. Just think, hey, howdy did we universe making things worse like that?
Nobody belongs anywhere.
Even back in episode 1, Rick is an equal and capitalism. By how many can predict exact or so the rift shut.
Ricks, but in that